Sure.
Patrick, once more with
Hello,
time.
hello, once more with fury and gusto.
How's it going in Campbell, California? Looks like a beautiful day there.
It is in beautiful Campbell slash Saratoga in the parking lot of the mall where we are now currently interviewing.
That's hilarious.
Uh,
Have you been to the mountain winery over there? I know they have concerts over there.
yes, I have. Who did I see there? I saw Counting Crows because I'm a fancy boy.
I love Counting Crows. I saw them too, actually.
Yeah.
Remember when they were doing like America's
Um,
Cup concerts in San Francisco? That was like 10 years ago.
I unabashedly love that shit. Um, it's my parents were really into Bruce Springsteen and also Counting Crows and that whole sort of poetry thing, Americana thing. It's just
Yeah.
so hard being in and out of love.
That's amazing. So tell me what you've been up to musically since the pandemic. It's been a while since we had the time to chat. So fill us in.
Yeah. Well, let's see. We've cycled through several rhythm sections because that's what happens in the Roughies. Yeah, my buddy Armando is playing bass, so we got a new bass player. My buddy Arsh is on drums, and he's like a jazz guy. So he's our newest member. He's been around for like 6 months, and that's kind of been a really interesting take. It's like I feel in the way. They're all so good, um, which is a wonderful problem to have.
Yeah.
Um, and then we released an album on April 14th. Um, it's called Everywhere's an Island. It is available everywhere. If you want to get a physical copy, hit us up at our Instagram, which is at the Roughies Rock. But we just played at the Catalyst in Santa Cruz, opening for Necromantic, so that was really fun. Um, but that's all in the past. In the future, we have a show at the Crate Place in Santa Cruz on I think July 17th, and then at S27 Brewing on I think the July 29th. So we have that like we're kind of taking off because we went real hard the last couple months. Um, yeah, so things are working out. I like the album. It came out.
Well, that's the hard part, right? Is actually, releasing it. What was your inspiration going into this particular album versus the previous ones?
Um, we kind of did genre tunes, and so we really like almost the band Ween was sort of one of our, and I like musicals and sort of anything. A lot of bands that do a lot like, and not like not a little genre shift. You want to do a big one. You want to do a real fucking weird something. So we had like a ska tune without upstrokes because my guitar player Alex was like, I'm not playing fucking upstrokes. So he plays like a little ditty on it, and then we had a horn section come in. My buddy Brain from the band Monkey, my buddy Lindsay from the band Van Goat, and my boy Thomas from the band Voluntary Hazing. Um, Got to shout it out.
Yeah.
And then we recorded the most of the music actually at just our buddy's practice place, which is Snafu Family. And then we did the vocals and a few of the horns and extra acoustic guitar after the pandemic at District Recording. So we totally recorded the first, almost all of it, all the music, most of the vocals, and then pandemic hit. The last thing we had to do was get everybody together and sing background vocals. And I was like, well, we could release it half-assed or we could wait.
Right.
So I'd rather just wait, and you know how it goes. We figured it out.
Making magic happen as usual.
Yeah, but it was very like we got like I say, a ska tune. We got like a weird swampy punk rock tune. A couple pop punk tracks. It was fun.
Fun times. And are you going to be playing like in the San Francisco Bay Area at some point?
We don't have anything booked in SF or Oakland presently.
Okay.
I love that y'all don't think of this as the Bay Area. That shit. It's like
it's a drive, but that's
it's the South Bay.
the
The
South
South
Bay.
Bay. It's okay. When I first moved to Oakland, I started calling Oakland the North Bay, and they had to be like, "No, buddy, You're in the Bay now.
You're in the East Bay, to be precise.
People are like, San Jose, isn't that Santa Cruz? Whatever. I have found though, if you live in Oakland or San Francisco, there's fucking no reason to come to San Jose.
It's hard. I do sometimes though. Even with the BART though, the BART situation is kind of sketchy these days, but
Well,
go ahead.
if you live in SF, I've never lived in SF, but I remember it's like it's hard to get people from SF to come to Oakland.
It's true. It's really true.
There's a lot. Please.
I love Oakland. There's so much to do there. So many great venues.
It's a riot. I miss it. I was there for like 5-6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, I like San Jose is great, but when you're in Oakland or Santa Cruz or SF, it's like, what do you do today? Fucking roller skating. What are you doing? Like, let's go party. What do you mean? We got shit to do. Do you want some Molly?
Oh, those are the days. Yeah, I need to get a pair of roller skates actually, now that you reminded me about that.
Right? It's a whole pastime, it's a sport, it's a lifestyle.
It really is.
And we do it here too, but it's like spread out more. And so you kind of have to find it like it's not like a sprawl of party. You have to really make a like effort and get in the cab and fucking go from one party to the next little shindig.
Yeah.
There's little pockets happening all over, but like it's definitely I'll see whenever I see my people in San Jose, I'm like, punk rockers. They're like fucking weirdos.
There's the Ritz in San Jose. That's historically been a punk rock venue, right?
Yeah, Ritz is great. We played there before. We've never opened for any big bands there though. It's a big ass room.
Yeah.
To have just locals playing. You know.
Yes, I enjoyed it.
It's interesting how like I don't know. We've been doing a bunch of local shows, and I've been trying to get the band on the road for ages. And I was like, "Come on, let's go to Oregon. Let's go to LA."
Yeah.
And the band's like, "But we can barely play for 50 people here. What are you talking about?"
Well, it's just like in the old days. Remember when like Blondie and Jimi Hendrix went to England and they were huge over there before they became big here? So you never know, right? You have to branch out to.
Yes, precisely. That's one of the reasons I definitely want to be in other places. It's just like anything financially.
Yes.
You're like, okay, how do we pay the fucking band? You just gotta ask. You just gotta ask the venue and be like, yo, I need the money.
We need the money. What about like GoFundMe or something like that? Like crowdfunding.
I don't know. There's something about that like the old capitalist in me doesn't want to ask. Just wants to I come from a bunch of business people. I don't want to ask. I just want to fucking earn it myself, which isn't, that's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
We are all supporting one another.
Exactly. It doesn't hurt to ask the fans, your local people.
No. That's true. I'd rather sell them a shirt for a small profit and then use that to tour.
That's true. That's how, from your understanding, is that how a lot of bands are making it right now? The whole merch thing,
for sure.
Streaming not much, right? But
streaming to me is a means to get more people to listen to it, and then they buy the merch or anything. It's not like it's a brand. Of course it is. That's obvious, but it's more like a fucking religion. It's all about the emblazoned. You got to have the Jesus shirt. You got to have something that's like, no, we are a part of the cult, and that is like, it could be. That's like kind of realizing one of the rock and roll things to me is like, okay, I'm in this fucking cult, but it's a cult of like 20 of us.
Or 20,000.
Or eventually, when the good Lord will it. Not to get grand about it, but wouldn't it be nice?
And where can people find out more about you online? Where's the best sites?
The most active thing we use is Instagram, which is at the Roughies Rock. So that's exciting. Hooray for Instagram. We'll try the TikTok here and there every once in a while. That's a good time too, but Instagram's really a good spot. Spotify and Apple Music, and if people still use those or where the music's at. If you want a hard copy, hit me up. Hit us up on Instagram. You know how we do it. I'll drive to your house. Not like in a weird way, but I will. I will meet you at a comfortable, safe location where I'll meet you at a coffee shop. That sounds weird too. I'll send it to you in the mail. Let's go old school.
Done that.
I'm fucking terrible at mail.
Oh, you don't go to the post office anymore? Is that a 20th century?
It's something about I'm just a lazy stoner, and there's something about it's just like God getting it, and there's like a worry of like, what if I do the wrong stamps, or it doesn't work, or I get the address wrong, like I might
Yeah.
screw up. It's like,
Right?
well, all of life is a wager. Come on now.
Yeah, too much detail, right?
Yeah, I get lost in that shit, and then something will be on the shelf for weeks, and then someone's like, "Bro, where's my shirt?" And I'm like, "Sorry, I suck."
Oh my gosh. And what when you make the shirts, I'm assuming you design it yourself, but then in terms of mass producing it, what are you using these days?
I do not design stuff
Oh,
myself.
okay.
I typically will I try to find somebody who's much better at that than I am. I can draw, and I love, and like, but man, there's something about the motherfucker who's like doing it as a living, like not to be like the filter, the great
Yeah.
filter of like, oh, you fucking do this, that's what you do full time, crazy. It's like,
Yes.
oh, you're just, and there's something about I've had whenever I've had someone who's trained, and I hate to be like that about it, but I learned. I used to work for my dad's board game company, and the whole thing was like, have the best components in the in the whole fucking game, in the whole what's the word? I want to
Industry.
use.
Industry.
Thank you. That's the one. If you're sure, and I've done this before with like I'll have a band shirt that I love or that looks cool, and if it's scratchy and shitty, I won't wear it.
Yeah, right.
Whereas if you got the soft, wonderful one, like people, you don't know why, but people wear that shit. And you're just like, oh, cool. And then the same thing with like a good design. It's like for me, it's like I learned like try shit, and whatever works, make the best version of it.
There you
And so
go.
that's one of the reasons. I don't know.
Business savvy.
It's. I used to do a lot of theater, and so it
Hmm.
was. I remember asking people like, "Did you know?" Or asking people who are successful. It's like, "Did you know that shit was gonna work?" And usually the answer is like, "Nah, we just did shit, and then something worked." And it's like, "Oh, all right, do more of that."
Well, if you
Um,
need any help in that area, I know somebody who's a fantastic illustrator, and he's actually worked with other bands before, like
yeah,
on album covers and whatnot. So,
please, yes, send my way. We had let's see this guy from I always get Switzerland and Sweden mixed up, but I followed him randomly on Instagram for like the punk rock art, and then as I was buying this, we have this cat image that we've been using on our shirts, um, and he was like $150. So like, cool, baby, and sent it to him on PayPal, and it like converted it to another currency. And I was like, no way, international punk rockers, hell yeah, you know we do it.
they're all over the world.
Fuck yeah. Um,
Well,
so
it's been great chatting with you. Is there
hell
anything
yeah.
else that you'd like people to know about the Roughies and what you're doing in the future?
Um, let's see. Yeah. Come to the Santa Cruz shows. Listen to stuff. Hit me up if you need a shirt. Always remember, art isn't activism. This is all a bunch of bullshit. You know, we're all liars.
Right?
Um, that that's what this is what I've been struggling with recently. Where you're just like, oh fuck, this is all fucking self-aggrandizing nonsense.
Right. But
I went
I
to
think
the I went to the I went to the Bernie Sanders rally and had a big fat joint, and I was like, I should probably wait and do this not at the Bernie Sanders rally. Like, this is not the party. This is the fucking. I don't want to be. I don't want to be an activist. I want to be at the party.
I think there's something about what you mentioned about being in a cult. I mean, it has like a negative connotation, but I think there's also something really positive about it, like a shared, group experience. Like we're not alone, right?
I think so. And there's something. I mean, fuck. If you want to get like, if you're wearing the American flag or you're wearing the frickin' cross or something like that, like that's or any country for that matter. Like, what is a country? What is an institution? Did all of these things start as somebody's name at one point?
Hmm.
And it was like, yes, now that is the land of fucking Alexandria, like whatever. Um, and so like, okay, like my goal essentially is for the Roughies to be a country in like 100 years.
a recognized territory.
You understand.
Yes.
As a libertarian anarchist,
Oh, I love
one of the
that.
one of the themes of the record we released, it's called Everywhere's an Island, and it's totally about like kind of that making fun of kind of the libertarian slash anarchist thing of just like if we could all just go somewhere where there weren't any people. And it's like, well, then you'd be the people there, and then you'd have to start a government, which is never any fun.
Yeah. Then you actually have to get to work.
Yeah, it's a bummer. There's a reason this shit happened this way, and it's like, yes, part of it is exploitation, but part of it is because like, fuck. What did they say? Democracy is the worst form of government except for all the others.
I love that. Well, it was great chatting with you, Patrick, and
You
I
too, my dear.
hope to see you again soon. Let me know. Maybe I'll try to make it to Santa Cruz. It's been a while, so
Yeah, come on through. We're at the Crepe Place with a touring band from Oregon called I don't remember, but I'll I'll send you the deets.
yeah, send us the deets and have a great rest of the day. Enjoy some of that natural sunshine.
You too. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, take care.
Bye.
Bye.